Hello and welcome back to the Let's Chat podcast. Really working on the name. I'm really not loving it, to be honest, but it doesn't really matter at the moment. I've already refilmed this twice because I don't know. I tried to film an episode like a week and a half ago and I spent an hour talking about nonsense, and luckily the audio didn't work, so I couldn't even upload it. So that's why I haven't filmed in a while. I've had 2 friends say, hey, where's a new episode? And it only takes one person for me to be like, okay, the fans want me back. So I got y'all, don't worry. Honestly, today, two disclaimers. First one, I look like this if you're watching because I just got out of the shower. So that's why I have no makeup on and my hair, it's like wet and I'm just so clean girl right now. And then the lighting is not like my ideal lighting, but it is nighttime, and the past 2 times I filmed in the day. But I don't have my old YouTube setup, so I don't have like a ring light and all that anymore. So we're going with this like fall dark academia like lighting. So hope you enjoy that. Yeah. Honestly, I'm just gonna be talking today about just like kind of my life and life updates because I feel like I'm in kind of a new chapter of my life. No shit, I'm in college now and I wasn't before, so there's obviously been a lot of changes. Not just where I moved, but just a lot of changes. So I'm kind of going to be going over them, and if that gets me onto other tangents about other things, so be it. Why not? And I did not organize my thoughts and write them all down, which I usually do before this, so we're just going to see how that goes. But yeah, I'm just going to start off with, I think I'm going to title this episode like loneliness, okay? And I'm going to start on a tangent about loneliness real quick because your girl, that's my best friend, loneliness, you know? Or I'm going to be talking about how I've always navigated, I guess, independence with loneliness. Because if you don't know, I've been very an independent girl since I was little, just because of family situations and childhood things and just like how I grew up. I was kind of like guaranteed to be independent, and it is a great attribute, and I'm glad that I have it, you know? I've always been able to take care of myself to an extent, and yeah, I've always been able to like do things alone and figure things out on my own and things like that. And so because of that, I've also struggled a lot, or not because of that, on a separate note, I've struggled a lot with loneliness also. Another reason from childhood, definitely rooting from childhood. But like, I moved here, right? I go to college now, and I forgot that I would have to make new friends. A huge part of my life is my friends, my best friends. They are my life, actually. And I moved to Colorado last year, right? And I went through a whole year of, battling long distance friendships and navigating making new friends and things like that. And I didn't do great with that, honestly. I feel like I struggled a lot with friends and making new friends and things like that. Of course, I made probably like, disregarding my roommates were my only friends for the most part living in Colorado, but I made 3 really close friendships in Colorado. And you don't need many for sure. But anyways, okay, sorry. I'm like rambling and going on 12 different tangents, but basically my point was I already went through this basically last year of, having to make new friends, having to restart, having to find the people you're going to hang out with and be with and things like that. And then I move here and I have to do it all over again. luckily, I have 2 really close friends that go here with me, and it's amazing. And yeah, it's amazing. I love having them here. And the thing is though, is they are my only friends here. Like I have like mutuals that I knew from high school, and like I like some people like that I mutually know, like, but no one, I don't have any like close friends here or anything like that. And so they obviously have been going here for years. They have their own lives. They have their own friendships. They're building their lives here, or they've already been doing that. And so I'm having to restart, making friends, which we all do. We all go to college. We all have to make friends. Like, oh my God, like I'm lonely. No shit, we all are, But wow, when I put it like that, now I'm like, okay, maybe I should shut the fuck up. We all are doing this. No, okay. I need water. Anyways, so yeah, okay. I got here and I was like, okay, great. Have to restart this shit again. I'm so sick of having to try and make new friends because I have about 10 of the most amazing people I know on standby on speed dial. I'm talking and I'm snapping and texting and sending videos and things to my friends all day. So I feel like I'm talking to people and I feel like I'm, nothing's changed. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, I haven't hung out with anyone in like a month and a half. Like since being here, like not true. I hang out with Kaylee and Hallie, but okay. Anyways, so this time it was different though than last year, because last year I was going to community college. I was just doing online classes, and then I was just working all the time, and that was my life. And I was so depressed when I was there for many reasons, but that being one of them, that my life just felt like it had no direction. And I was constantly spiraling about not having friends or like making my own friends, because first of all, I didn't have like a way to make them really, besides like work, but just nothing really clicked naturally except I did make a few friends from work. Hey, if y'all are listening, love y'all. But it just wasn't coming like very easily, because I didn't really have like the natural way you make friends, like when you get to college and you have dorm life and you make friends in the dorms and classes and all that. And so I was always spiraling, and I had so much time to be sad. That's also a huge difference of where I was last year and now. I had so much time to just constantly be thinking of how sad I was, I had so much time to just relish in my emotions, because I literally was just working, drinking on a Wednesday night, and doing like 2 online classes. Like that was my life. And I don't regret any amount of time I spent in Colorado. I loved it. I'm so glad I did go there. Trying to be on money, by the way. That's another topic. But really glad I went there, because I got to experience it and I got to live there. But it's just so different comparing like where I was then and now. Because if you think about it, I'm in the same kind of situation. Not really. I'm actually in a very different situation, but I'm still having to start over and make new friendships. Here's the thing. I've made, a few classroom friends of like people that I talk to when I'm in class, but we don't do anything outside of it. And I'm okay. I'm okay with it, which is something I never thought would happen. Because when friends are your whole life, like my friendships, like they mean the most to me, more than like most things at all. Like I prioritize my friendships more than anything really. And when I'm left to just be with just to be with me, bitch, like that's why it was so hard last year, because I was just left with, oh my God, now I have to actually deal with myself. I can't distract myself with my friends by being with my friends and being with people I love and constantly being uplifted and loved and feeling loved. But when you don't feel loved yourself and you're just left with yourself, oh my God, I was spiraling of hate I just feel like, yeah. And so I get here, and in the beginning, like the first like 2, maybe 3 weeks of living here, like, yeah, like 2 weeks of living here, I was like, oh my God, I need to make friends. I need to find friends. I need to find friends. Um, I need to find my best friends here. Like, I need to find my closest friends here. Like, I need to start building those friendships that like people talk about, that they have lifelong college best friends and things like that. Like, people are always like, yeah, college is when you meet your real best friends. Okay. I met mine in 7th grade, but okay. Anyways, but people are saying that, and so I was like, okay, I need to make friends. And then I started to be like, okay, I actually kind of love my routine of being alone, which is like actually the first time in my life I've ever been able to say that. Like, hands down. Hands down, that is the first time in my life I've ever been able to say that, because I hate being alone. I've always been able to do things alone. Like, I can do it. I will do it. I have to a lot of times. Like, need to go run errands, like, or if I am bored and I need to go do something to like fill my time, like, I can do those things alone. I will, and I will. Like, I have. But I would much rather prefer to have someone in the passenger seat with me, you know? Like, I would much rather prefer to have someone with me. But now I'm like, okay, wait, I kind of enjoy me. I'm kind of enjoying myself, which is, that's kind of crazy to say. Like, that kind of like gave me chills. Like, you can't let that give you chills. I also, since being here, I've gone on medication, and that's, you know what, I should have started this episode off with saying that is probably the root of why all, like, this whole thing roots back to, like, okay, I got on medication, that's why I'm doing great. I'm not doing great, I'm doing good, but thank you, fluoxetine. Yeah, anyways, I got medication to help with anxiety and depression. Been on it before, we know the drill, on this shit again, and I'm enjoying it. It's really helping me, I think it is. And also, I've been on a little workout kick. Nah, you didn't need to say anything. I know you could tell. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, actually, but I've been working out the past almost 3 weeks, every day for 3 weeks. And before you're like, whoa, that seems disordered, working out every single day. Maybe you didn't think that. That's where my mind goes. Usually if people tell me something like that, I'm like, whoa, hey, I know what you're doing. You know what? I actually am going to do an eating disorder episode. So don't even worry. I'll be putting a major trigger warning. If any of that would negatively affect you, don't even listen to that episode. I will be making an eating disorder episode though. So just like watch out for that. It's going to be a day when I film that. Like, wow. Anyways, I've been healthily working out and eating healthy, balanced. You know, I have some unhealthy foods in there too. I'm trying to understand balance. I'm trying to learn balance, because one thing about my life is I don't understand balance, and I'm such an all or nothing person. I think you either have to absolutely be eating like shit, or you can be eating the most restrictive, healthy diet food. You know, I have never been able to find that balance, truly, and I think I'm getting there. Thank God. Only took me almost 20 years. Yeah, I'm turning 20 in 3 weeks, so. Oh my God. Okay, one thing, scratch everything I've said, one thing that's really bumming me out is I'm gonna have like no friends to celebrate my birthday with me. You know what, it's fine. I'm gonna have 2 friends with me to celebrate my birthday, and that's okay. You know what? It's fine. That does bum me out though. That's honestly, that bums me out, but it's fine. Anyways. Okay. Continuing on, I went on 12 different tangents like I knew I would, so I need to like revert back to whatever I was talking about. Independence, loneliness. Oh yeah. So I kind of had not like an epiphany, because it wasn't like one instance where I was like, oh my God, wait, let's turn things around. I'm gonna focus on me. It was kind of me realizing as I've been here, like, okay, I'm just waiting around to meet people all the time. And I'm joining things. Oh my God, I'm joining things. Guys, this medicine has me joining things. I'm in like 4 organizations. Bitch, I'm in a nonprofit organization. So don't even be like, wait, you need to join things. That's how you meet people. No shit, bitch. That's where I'm at. I've joined a nonprofit. Thank you. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh my God, what was I saying? Oh yeah, it was kind of me realizing, okay, I'm sitting around, I'm sleeping all the time, I'm struggling with things, and I'm always waiting around to meet people and make connections and have people to hang out with. And I'm like, okay, listen, I need to get my shit together, because at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't want to not be bettering myself, because I'm bettering myself academically since being here, you know, like I'm working on my future career. And I'm like, okay, what about these other things that I never really focus on? My health, you know, like actually my health, my, what else? I don't know, just focusing on me, like actually. I'm focusing on me, but like actually. Like, I started journaling again, which I used to love journaling, but I kind of strayed away from it. But back on that shit. Building a routine, that has been a huge thing for me. Like, I genuinely have formed a routine in the past like 3 weeks that I've been very strict. Like, even like, I don't know, I've just built a routine, which has been really nice, because secretly deep down I love routine, but my lifestyle hasn't been able to show that, or like let that happen. I feel like for the past year or so, especially this summer, like I was in no place to have a routine, just with how things were, if that makes sense. I feel like routine is something, or I guess like routine in a positive sense that I'm talking about, like that can really only come whenever you're doing good. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, actually. I'm literally speaking out of my ass. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, I think I'm gonna pause and I'm gonna gather my thoughts and think of what to talk about next, because now I'm just like saying shit. Okay, pause. Okay, yeah. So last year I felt like I just like hated myself so much, and I have obviously dealt with self-hate and insecurities all my life, as we all do. You know, no one hasn't. Unless you haven't, that's awesome for you. Live your life, queen. But I just feel like last year I was in such a dark mental place, and like I did realize it. Like there would be, you know, periods like, oh my God, winter last year. Woo, that was bad. There were periods obviously where I like knew that I was not doing well, but I like look back at that time and I'm like, oh my God, like I feel bad for myself last year, you know, like I was just not doing well. And I feel like now I've kind of found balance, which I was talking about that earlier, but I think I've found balance in more than just, you know, food wise. I'm just saying, like, I realize when I have bad days, I'm like, okay, today I'm not feeling great about myself today, and that's okay. But tomorrow I might feel great about myself. And I've just kind of realized, okay, I'm gonna get to the relationship topic. I always come back to this because it's very heavy in my mind. Okay, whatever, I don't care. I always get back to men and relationships, but I've been very much like, oh my God, okay, friendships aside, yeah, I'm a little lonely in the romantic department, you know? But I've also started to realize and actually try the method that everyone talks about. Oh my God. you're not gonna find someone if you're looking. Like, you need to not be looking to find someone. It'll happen when you least expect it. Shut the fuck up. I hate that shit. I hate that shit. But now I've been like, okay, let's actually try this. Let's see if it's real. Let's see if it's true for y'all, because y'all are always saying that. Oh, it'll happen when you least expect it. Okay, I'll close my eyes. I'm not expecting it. I'm not expecting it. I'll say that. Oh my god, I'm not expecting it. Okay, but I'm actually trying to work on that because it's really hard whenever now I'm in college and I'm surrounded by so many beautiful women to compare myself to and so many men for me to look at and want and feel a little left out. Like, I'm like, yeah, okay, like, y'all with your boyfriends and y'all with your dates, like, okay, that's cute, where's mine? But I've started to be like, okay, I was always searching last year for someone, a boyfriend. Oh my god, a boyfriend, all the time. But I don't even think I could have had a boyfriend. I didn't, but I like couldn't have. Like, I was so hateful. I just felt like I had so much hate in my heart. Obviously I still do, but it's not all directed towards me anymore, which is nice. And yeah, I'm really trying to do the method, see if the method works of I'm not looking for it, I'm just focusing on me. Cause bitch, all I do is focus on me. It's a little exhausting, honestly. Like, all I'm doing is focusing on me. But it's been nice because I'm starting to learn I'm more awesome than I thought. That felt like a minion meme, so I apologize. But self-worth has really been on my mind because all I have is myself right now, and the only person I have truly in my life with me at all times is me, unfortunately. I'm just kidding, it's not unfortunate. See, I'm trying to redirect that little thought process I have. But kind of all I have is me. So I'm like, why? Listen, I'm stuck with this bitch for the rest of my life. So why not try to like her? This is really chuggy for me to be talking. I'm sorry, this is like a really chuggy conversation, but I'm like, okay, I should like myself if I'm gonna have to be in this brain forever, because oh my god, it's exhausting. It's really exhausting, but I'm starting to learn to like myself. Whoa. And I know, like, confidence attracts, so shut up. Anyways, okay. Enough with that. What do I want to talk about now? Okay, you know what? I'm going to talk about eating disorders for just a little bit. So, trigger warning. If you struggle with disordered eating of any sort, or you think this may be harmful, or you will not benefit at all from me talking about this, just skip. Not worth it. I do not know how anyone else's brain works but mine, but I know with me, when I hear about these topics in a non-productive way, I just try not to listen, and I'm gonna try to be productive when I talk about it. But I'm also talking about my own feelings and experiences, and I don't want to harm anyone else, so skip this if this pertains to you. Yeah. Sorry, that was a lot, but just like, I want to be very aware of it because I know how it is. If this would trigger you in any way, please skip. Okay, so I've struggled with disordered eating my whole life, probably since I was like 8. Yeah, like literally since I was a kid. All forms, any one of them, you name them, I've had it, I've done it, whatever. And yeah, it's probably the biggest issue in my life, to be honest. Biggest issue meaning like the loudest issue. Definitely the loudest issue. I've always had it. Like, there's never been a time where I've not been struggling with it. Just disordered eating, body image issues, all the things tied together. Never been a moment since I was literally a kid that I've not struggled with it. There's times where it's not as loud, but I'm still struggling always with that. So, However, recently, as I said earlier, I've been going to the gym, and in a healthy manner, because your girl has also um overexercised in an unhealthy manner, had that little thing too, had them all. But this feels different, and I know it's different, and it's not been me overexercising, exhausting myself, and not eating or anything like that. I've been eating balanced meals, 3 meals a day, for like however long, and it's really weird to me how, because I've been working out, obviously I feel like that's brought a lot of clarity to my mind, because it's good for you mentally, not just physically. And something I've like realized is I have been trying all these years, I need to phrase this carefully and correctly, I have gone through so many years of pain, self-inflicted pain, with eating disorders and disordered eating, anything of that sort. I've gone through so many years of stress and things like that. And guess what? None of it quote unquote works. That's an awful way to phrase it, but I'm just saying, like, I'm like looking back at it, I'm like, none of that was worth the pain and stress that I put on myself just to look a certain way or feel more control in this part of my life, if that makes sense. And do not misconstrue me saying like it doesn't work, saying that some do, I'm just speaking from experience here, that like for me I was like, oh my god, wait, working out is like, this has been the first time where I'm healthily, in a productive way, healthily seeing a difference in myself. I don't know how to phrase it. I'm just saying, like, it's really interesting. It's just the first time that I've actually consistently, because obviously I go through times where I work out, or I've had those, I used to dance every day, things like that. But I'm just saying, like, I've literally just focused on putting all my effort into working out every day in a healthy manner and eating healthy, balanced, and just eating like, it's just really weird for me to like handle, because I've never done this before. I've never like experienced this, because it's always, when I tell you, it is just, I've never not struggled with eating disorders or food noise or things like that. It's just always going to be an issue in my life, which sucks. It's, oh my god, very hard pill to swallow, is that it's just probably always going to be somewhat of an issue for me, and it'll be more maintained in my life in certain times than others, and it won't be as loud all the time, but it's just, it's interesting. Yeah, I don't know, I'm gonna talk more about eating disorders in an episode, like I said, and that way just skip the episode if it does not benefit you, or if you think it'll harm you in any way. Genuinely not worth it. Hearing my experiences are not worth it if it's gonna cause you any thoughts if you're struggling. Yeah. Okay. Anyhow, I'm gonna move on from that part. Okay. Took a little break because I need to gather my thoughts once again. I really need to write this shit down because it's just not coming to me. Okay. I decided I'm just gonna talk about the things I am struggling with still, because I've been talking a lot about things that are going good, but I don't know, I want to talk about things that are not going good, because that's just me and that's just how I work. So if you listening, I don't know who's listening, but if you're listening and you struggle with family issues and any forms of childhood traumas, I feel like we all have childhood trauma, duh. But if you have any childhood traumas that still sit with you and you still think about or that still continuously affect you. And you know what? All of our childhood trauma is going to affect us in one way or another, whether we're aware of it or not. But it's still, if you're aware that it's affecting you still, just know my heart goes out to you, because I feel like I've been struggling recently with like trying to let things that happened in my childhood go, you know, trying to let go of them, trying to, I guess, like, yeah, like forgive certain people, but also move on from situations. And I feel like I'm constantly thinking about like anything in my life that happens current day. I'm like, oh, that hurts because of this that happened in my childhood. Like, I'm so hyper aware of how my childhood affects me now, that sometimes I'm like, okay, at what point do I move on? And how do I move on? This is so therapy coded. Like, this whole conversation literally could just be me talking to my therapist. Like, I don't have one yet. Working on that. That's a huge thing I'm trying to get into, is therapy. I've heard it's great. I've been to therapy before, but I would really need one, because how do you let childhood things go? Negative childhood traumas and situations. Like, how do you let that go? Because, like, you can let it go, and you can obviously, you don't have to think about it all the time, but, like, I'm like, okay, certain situations, I'm like, I feel like this is brought up in one way or another once a month, you know? Like, something bad happens now, and I'm like, okay, this reminds me of this. Now I'm way more sad, if that makes sense. Sorry. So I just feel like I need to learn how to let certain childhood things go. And that's like a really heavy topic, actually, that I'm just randomly bringing up. But that, I feel like, is an issue I'm now dealing with, because I've always had it in the back of my mind of like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling this way because of how I felt when I was a kid in this instance. But now I'm really like facing it front on, because I'm almost turning 20, and I'm like, at some point some of these things gotta like go. Some of these things I gotta move on. Like, God, we're just like kicking a dead horse. Like, let's get over it. Why don't we? Let's get over it. But it's hard. I don't know how to get over certain things and let things go to where they don't still affect me, you know? Anyways, hope you relate to that. I feel like that's a pretty relatable thing. I could be wrong. If you don't relate to that, so much peace and love to you. And then also, another thing is, I really, 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 really have been struggling with trusting men. And you know what? I'm trying to think if I want to talk about this or not. I had a situation that happened to me in the summer that really put up more walls with men, because I've always had issues, not always, but very much have developed more and more every time a situation happens with a man that goes wrong. More walls are put up, more walls are built. I'm like, okay, another reason to not trust a man. They did this to me. Oh, that's because you're a man and I don't trust you. You know, more and more walls have been built up with that. And I'm just wondering who is gonna break these walls down, because I'm pretty barricaded, you know? Like, how do y'all have boyfriends? That's the thing I don't understand. Okay, this is like a random topic. This is random and like really immature, maybe of me to be saying. How do y'all have boyfriends? If you're listening to this and you have a boyfriend, how do you do it? Because I can't wait for the day that I have a boyfriend and I fully trust them and I love them. You know, I'm excited to experience that. However, I just don't see how y'all trust them, because I just don't trust men. And yeah, once again, oh my god, it connects. Once again, that definitely goes back to one of my little childhood things that still affects me to this day. You know, issues with men when I was little. Nothing crazy. I'm just, oh my god. I need to calm down now. Hold on. I'm like digging myself in a really deep hole. Okay. That is one of those things in my childhood that still affects me. And actually, when I had to have like a little consult, when I was getting my medicine, you have to have a little mental health consult. And she was like, okay, like, what happened in your childhood? I was like, oh. And I like listed some things. And then she was like, is anything else happened? I was like, oh, this thing, this guy, this summer happened. And I was like, oh, I didn't like it. It was not good. Whatever, affected me pretty negatively. And then she was like, well, no wonder you don't trust men. I was like, oh. I was like, oh, 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 okay. No, that's so cool. No, that's fine. Clocked. And I was like, okay, wait. So this didn't just start after I saw the Barbie movie. Because I really was like, I've been like, oh my god, it's really the Barbie movie that did it for me. Like this like new wave ultra feminism. Like, yes, I'm a feminist, and like, but I've always been able to, be like, okay, well, there's some men aren't bad. But then I saw the Barbie movie, and then I get my heart broken like 4 to 12 times, and I'm like, okay, so just men suck overall, and there's no good ones, because none of them can really be trusted. And then I'm like, oh wait, no. Is that right? The cat, your cat said, no, we're not getting a dog. Sorry. No, it's no. And that's actually another thing from your childhood that still affects you, by the way. Not just something that you gathered after you saw the Barbie movie. Okay, I'm kind of joking about the Barbie movie thing. Like, I'm actually not, a lot changed for me after I saw Barbie, And I've always been a feminist. Not always, but I've been for a while. Like, actually, things like that. And, we hate men. Us feminists, we just hate men. And then I was like, no, men suck. It's all the patriarchy, and it is. And then, so many things happened last year, and I was like, oh, so okay, men in my personal life also suck. And then it's like, oh, this big thing that happens, and I'm like, oh, once again, I don't trust men, and I don't think I trust any of them. So, tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe, no shit, I should probably work on that, because obviously, like, I'm like, okay, well, obviously good men exist. How are people married? But then I'm like, everyone divorces. I'm a divorced kid, so I'm sorry. That's just like where, my mind goes there. Yeah. I need to calm the fuck down. Who gave me this microphone? I need to put this away. I'm gonna end the episode pretty shortly because I'm starting to now go into like so many topics that are just like a little bit too much. Anyways, yeah, I know that there's probably some good men. I just like genuinely don't trust really any of them. Oh my god, big disclaimer, I mean straight men. I trust my gay men all the time. Thank you. I love y'all. I love my gay men. Yeah, no, I'm just really talking about straight men here. Anyways. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was quite the assortment. If you can't tell, I really haven't talked to anyone in a very long time. I feel like actually, so that's kind of why I went on all these tangents, about random shit that was a little bit too dark to touch on. But whatever. Okay. Well, hope you enjoyed this episode of Let's Chat. Yeah, I'm sorry for everything you heard. Honestly, this was like an awful episode, but I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got a laugh or maybe a really pitiful tear. I really crave pity, so hope you felt it. So, anyways, okay. Love you. Bye.